Number 10. Lake Baikal. When it concerns exceeding, Lake Baikal is hard to beat. This large high-altitude break lake in Siberia is the earliest as well as the inmost lake on the planet, reaching an optimum deepness of 1,642 meters and an approximated 25 million years old. Baikal is also the biggest freshwater lake in the world. Over 20% of the globe's fresh water is in this lake. Although Lake Baikal is considered one of the clearest lakes worldwide, this is specifically noticeable in wintertime, where, in some areas, it's possible to see up to 40 meters down into the water, even though much of the lake's surface area ice up over for up to 5 months of the year. Number 9. Moscow. Considering that most global flights get here or at least stop in Moscow, it's worth preparing your trip so you at least have a few hours to discover the city. Russia's funding is a stunning mix of greenery, magnificent design, as well as great deals of historical tips of times past. Visitors to Moscow usually start checking out in the facility, where the Kremlin, Red Square, as well as the vibrant St. Basil's Cathedral are located. The Molgum, with its glass and steel roof, is additionally a popular location even for travelers who cannot afford the high-end brands sold below, and a great area to try authentic Russian food. Number 8. St. Petersburg. Although smaller than Moscow, St. Petersburg really has a lot to provide. It's commonly impossible to see it all in one day. Compared to Moscow, St. Petersburg feels extra European fine art as well as charming style details mixing in with history around every edge. You can discover it on foot to admire the style up close, as well as individual or hop on a cruise to check out part of the 300 kilometers of canals that cut through the royal city. For a magnificent overdose of white and also gold shades, see Moika Palace and the neoclassical, 19th century St. Isaac's Cathedral, which is in fact a Russian Orthodox gallery. Number 7. Sochi. A summer beach resort town resting precisely the Black Sea, Sochi uses lengthy stretches of stone and sand beaches, imposing instances of Stalinist style, a summer season movie event referred to as Kanotover, as well as a lot of metspas as well as exterior markets to please all spending plans as well as tastes. The lengthiest river in Russia, Mzymta, cuts through Sochi before it clears into the Black Sea, and also it's an incredibly popular location for rafting. The 3,000 square kilometer Caucasian State Nature Biosphere Reserve, simply 50 kilometers from Sochi, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well as house to a number of distinct types of vegetation as well as animals, consisting of the endangered Persian leopard. Number 6. Russian tundra. The tundra is a one-of-a-kind biome that only exists in or near the Arctic Circle. Right here, temperature levels are so cold that trees can't grow, as well as just moss, hedges, and also particular kinds of grasses can make it through the winter. In the majority of areas, the expanse is associated with ice, suggesting the ground is permanently iced up. In locations where the top layer of ground does melt throughout the summer season, marshes and streams will create over the land, leading to lovely patches of vivid icy water. The Russian tundra is residence to polar bears, seals, gray wolves, as well as abundant bird life throughout the nesting season. Over the past few years, ecotourism has actually ended up being increasingly more thinking about the expanse locations, particularly the Great Arctic State Nature Reserve near Krasnoyarsk Krai, where site visitors can take a number of environmental courses to check out, try birdwatching, or browse through as part of an instructional excursion. Number 5. Peterhof. Peterhof might be house to a university and also a major Russian watch producer, but this fairly tiny city's phone call to fame is the Peterhof Palace. Originally created as well as constructed in the early 1700s for Tsar Peter the Great in a style that resembles the Palace of Versailles, the royal residence grounds cover a location of almost 4,000 hectares. There are 173 yard fountains around the royal residence, some, like the Grand Cascade water fountains, with unique functions that activate water jets when individuals get close. The reduced gardens, designed in French formal style, offer marble sculptures, shaded walking courses, and also an aviary pavilion. Number 4. Vladivostok. Located near the borders of China and North Korea and also just throughout the ocean from Japan, Vladivostok is Russia's biggest port city. A significant stop on the Trans-Siberian Railway route, the city was actually off-limits to foreigners during Soviet Union times as well as currently receives great deals of international visitors anxious to find it. The city is home to several parks and also public rooms, consisting of Sportivnaya Harbor with its beautiful coastline and also promenade, and the Eagle's Nest viewpoint at the top of a hill. Vladivostok's Russky Bridge is a sensational building wonder as well as the longest cable-stayed bridge on the planet at 1,885 meters. The bridge connects Vladivostok to Russky Island, where site visitors will find Filipovsky Bay as well as its beautiful sandy coastlines, in addition to Voroshilov Battery, an army gallery. Number 3. Anapa. Anapa, completely located versus the Black Sea as well as an incredibly popular hotel location for decades, is well known for its sandy coastlines, metspas, as well as sensational sights from the rocky headland where Anapa's lighthouse sits, a rather extra moderate destination than Sochi. Anapa likewise supplies lots of other things to keep visitors captivated besides coastal tourist attractions. Places worth exploring consist of the Anapa Archaeological Museum and also the single remaining gate of an Ottoman fort that as soon as inhabited this area. Both the Sukho Valley as well as the wildlife preserve of Bolshoy Utrish are simply minutes far from the city as well as offer a lot of alternatives to check out nature, swim in clear waters, and require to the routes for some trekking. Number 2. Novosibirsk. Found on the banks of the Oby River, Novosibirsk is the third largest city in Russia and the unofficial funding of Siberia, a location where summers are hot adequate to swim and sunbathe, as well as the winter seasons have temperature levels that get to -40 levels Celsius. House to the Novosibirsk Opera and Ballet Theatre, a variety of colleges, and several galleries, the city has much to provide visitors. The Outdoor Museum for Railway Technology is especially intriguing, as it features numerous diesel and also heavy steam engines, electric trains, snowplows, and a variety of uncommon carriages, such as tank cars and trucks, healthcare facilities, and jail cars, and also even fire engines. Number 1. Gold Ring. The Golden Ring is a ring of small historic towns snuggled in the countryside to the northeast of Moscow. Most of the towns were important facilities of trade and organization during medieval times, yet today they're better understood for their delicious standard food, their gorgeous domed white churches, and also the enchanting little gingerbread-like cottages that populate the countryside. It is possible to do the entire circuit utilizing the trains and buses, yet the most effective way to guarantee you see whatever is to take a directed trip or to rent out auto in Moscow as well as drive in between the communities yourself.